Hey guys, we're back with another film analysis. Today, we're going to be looking at the movie Indian Horse. Now, what is Indian Horse? It's a movie that tells the story of Indigenous people's lives back in the 1950s. We're going to follow the story of Saul and the other kids in the movie that are forced to go to a residential school. And we're going to be analyzing his journey through a post-colonial lens. The first thing we're going to be looking at is how the characters are affected by the colonial ways of speaking and thinking at the school. St. Jerome's was extremely imperialized. They kidnapped children like Saul from their families and trapped them in the school. The kids couldn't escape, and if they did one small thing wrong, there were consequences. In Father Quinney's quote-unquote colonial eyes, things like practicing their own traditions or even speaking their own language led to consequences. There were things like punishments, beatings, or in some cases, sexual abuse. Even besides the consequences, the quality of life in the school was just bad in general. The kids were treated horribly, there was lack of hygiene, and meals were inadequate. So how did that affect them? Well, one of the characters named Lonnie didn't know how to speak English. He got beaten, and as you can see, Saul had to watch it happen, but there was nothing he could do about it. That really got to Lonnie, and so he decided to run away because he hated the colonial ways. Here's another example. The girl was trapped in a jail cell because she wet her bed. She couldn't take it anymore, and so she banged her head against the cell till she died. Because of colonialism, Father Quinney believed that any of this was okay and that he had to do whatever it took to strip the children of their culture. The point of all this was to, and I quote, kill the Indian in the child, to completely rid Canada of Indigenous cultures and practices. The next thing we're going to be analyzing is how some of the characters resist colonial controls. A few of them do it by rebelling against the school's rules. It was hard because of how much Eurocentrism there was, but some of them still did it. Now, how exactly did they manage? Well, one of the characters, Lonnie, tried to run away and take Saul with him, as you can see.
I can't.
Saul didn't want to because he had a hockey game the next day. If he didn't have that game, he would have probably gone with Lonnie and resisted that control. Also, Saul learned how to play hockey, even though it was only for the older kids. It's because of a priest, Father Gaston, that he got to play in the game. That resisted colonial control because the school was really strict and they didn't make exceptions for anyone. The school's imperialism was high, and as Father Quinney said, rules are rules. If I break them for you, it could ruin it for everyone. The fact that Saul even managed to play showed his resistance against Father Quinney's control. He went against the school's rules and taught himself while cleaning the ice earlier in the morning before anyone else woke up. He became better than everyone and successfully went against one of the school's rules without repercussion.